U.S. women's soccer star Megan Rapinoe decided to take the knee.
It is almost comical the lengths Republicans will go to bash a United States team.
Are you excited about going to the White House?
I'm not going to the White House.
Take Megan Rapinoe in women's soccer, for example. Donald Trump will never not attack.
Such a nasty woman.
And while the team has refused to back down,
I refuse to respect a man that warrants no respect.
the former POTUS just cannot resist. He would tweet, "Megan should never disrespect our country, the White House, or our flag."
Earlier this week, they unexpectedly lost to Sweden 3-0. And Americans were happy about it. You proved that point before I even said it.
Radicalizing conspiracy theorists and white supremacists to root against their own country's squad for World Cup glory. One athlete knelt to bring awareness to the injustices taking place in the U.S. while proudly representing her country. Meanwhile, Donald Trump deferred serving in the military because of alleged bone spurs, and when owner of the New Jersey Generals of the USFL, he would do work, take calls, conduct interviews during the national anthem, said journalist and author Jeff Pearlman. Thus, the right-wing media machine must continue what Trump started.
I wish the U.S. women would come out, and say the reason why we excel is because of America's embrace of human rights for women in a way that the rest of the world has yet to catch up to.
Clay Travis, an Obama supporter until he realized how much money there is in the right-wing grift, started a company, then had it get bought out by Rupert Murdoch.
Traditionally, one of the places the country's collectively left politics aside is in sports.
Tell me about the Negro Leagues, Greg. Tell me about how the NFL, via racist owner George Preston Marshall, did not have any black folks in it for a period of time. Tell me about how the NBA didn't allow black people to compete. And then also tell me about how they had a cap on how many black players a team could have. And tell me also, when Bill Russell was traveling, when he was a member of the Boston Celtics, how he wasn't allowed to eat at certain establishments, and the Celtics players also weren't allowed to eat at certain establishments. But none of that, of course, matters at all. Tell me about the jockey syndrome. I mean, here's the thing. It doesn't matter to people like Greg Gutfeld. I would destroy him on this 7 days a week. He doesn't care to learn about this. He just cares to be a right-wing pawn.
Of course, retiring soccer star Megan Rapinoe pledged never to sing the national anthem, which is fine. Better seen and not heard. Am I right, guys? You're watching the effects of a self-absorbed culture that made patriotic gestures seem out of place. And every day it judges our country more harshly. So this evil monster they're challenging doesn't exist.
Says the mediocre white man who lives off of being completely unfunny and needs producers to put in crowd laughter during his show.
So what are we to do about this? What I would be inclined to do, at the very least, is fire those women who disrespect the flag from the team. Just fire them outright. And potentially what I would do, because this has been a problem in U.S. women's soccer for so long, is just disband the team. Just get rid of it.
Cancel culture. Am I right? This all started because the worst of humanity, like avowed Nazi Sebastian Gorka, fanned the flames. Breitbart News joined the fray, and the always insufferable Tommy Lauren jumped on the bandwagon as well, despised the women's national team at all costs. What I want everyone to understand about this is that they are just playing an old tune at this point. 4 years ago, the 2019 Women's World Cup in France saw conservatives spout the same rhetoric over and over again. Republicans salivate over the opportunity and the window of time they have to hate on this team. It all started with general misogyny, grew into the inability to accept women athletes being something other than role models and mother figures, and finally exploded into political division. Per Lori L. Martin, a professor of sociology and African American studies at LSU, going after athletes like Megan Rapinoe and Colin Kaepernick is a way for Republicans to speak directly to the fears of a subset of white American men. He, as in Trump, is able to further consolidate his support while at the same time further alienating and marginalizing another segment of the U.S. population, she would say. It is a tale as old as time. They will continue to drum this up because they got nothing else.